Welcome back, my big dogs. In today's video, we played with the owner of Legion, Uxibus. I know there is 4 owners. This is 1/4 of the owners, but he is still one of the owners, so I'm saying the owner. In today's video, we obviously talked about his org, which was one big conversation, because there's a lot of questions that you can ask for a big successful org that has a lot of the best Brawlhalla players in the world right now in his organization. So doing this video, big shout out to Uxibus and to his entire guild, and org, of course. I will link all of his socials in the bio, and if you want to be a part of Legion, I will leave the link for that as well. Now, in the background here, obviously you can see the gameplay going on. You can probably see some Suri getting beat on, well, Ahsoka. That Ahsoka is me, and that Amugi is him. He doesn't have a main, otherwise I probably would have used his main for the thumbnail, but he does not have a main. He kind of just plays everybody. And he is very good on everybody. I'm pretty sure he is 2,500 and above or something like that at his peak. He doesn't really play anymore. He is coming back from a big break, and he used to compete in a lot of big tournaments. He was telling me about how he plays top 32, and somebody gatekeeped it, which I'm not going to comment on because it's kind of, that would piss me off if I was him, and he did say he was a little pissed off, but it is kind of funny, just out of nowhere, just dropping that lore. I thought that was pretty funny. Doing this video was actually very fun, because I do know this guy. I do consider him a good friend. I've talked to him quite a few times. I've even tried joining Legion, but, you know, we're not going to talk about that. One of the first questions I asked him was why he started Legion in the first place. And his answer was, he wanted to do this with his friends. And he's been wanting to do this since he was 14. Started gaming org since he was 14, like I just said. My bad, I'm messing up my words a lot. I just did a lot of things. I'm a little out of breath, in case you can't tell. But that's not the point. He's been wanting to do this since he was 14, and it's always been his dream, which is very understandable. And I feel like a lot of people have those dreams to want to do something involving gaming, especially a lot of younger guys, even a lot of younger girls that I've met growing up, that could have sounded a lot worse. Yeah, I feel like a lot of younger guys aspire to be, you know, like a professional gamer or to run something cool, and a lot of these pros that are in his org right now, he used to look up to himself. And I find that actually very cool that he set out, like, he had a dream and he set out right to it. And now he runs a very successful org, which is very impressive. Now, one of the next questions I asked him was, out of all of the big name pros in his clan, or, well, not clan and org, including Balloon Boy, which is top 2 PR, Godly, Kaina, some other big, like, really big named pros that I'm sure you've heard of or even watched yourself. I'm assuming if you're watching my content, I'm assuming you probably have watched their content at least once in your life or seen an esports tournament with them. They are in this org. And I asked him if he's ever been coached by any of them, because this I found very, I was very curious about it. I mean, if you're running an org with a lot of really good players, I don't see why they wouldn't coach you, especially considering you are their boss. So I figured I'd ask, and his answer was no, which actually kind of surprised me. I was expecting him to be like, yeah, a few pros will give me tips here and there, or something along those lines. And the fact that he said no actually really did shock me. But he said no to that, but there has been a few semi-pros that have helped him. And this other owner is another part of Legion, which is another 1/4 of the owners, Kronos. He also owns WSE, which I'm sure you've played against them, probably gotten beat by them, or you beat a WSE member. Either or, you probably have heard of Kronos. He is pretty well known in the Brawl community, in a general sense. WSE is, like, very, they have a lot of good players in there. I've met a good amount of them myself. Have I liked most of them? 50-50, but that doesn't mean it's a bad clan or a bad guild or whatever. I'm assuming it's a very good guild. I've even once considered joining myself, if I could, if I met the requirements. You do have to be Diamond to join Legion or WSE, just for future reference. If you do go and try to join, you do have to be Diamond, or at a certain point. And there are 2 parts of Legion, Legionnaire and Legion Org, and those are 2 separate different elos. And, if you're a very good player and you're watching this video and you want to get into an org, Legion is always there. Make sure to fill out an application. Like I said, link will be down in the description. But back to what I was saying. He was being coached by Kronos. He would spar with Kronos, and Kronos would obviously give him tips on what to do, on like what he's messing up on like mistakes that he makes. And in the clips, obviously you can see I made a lot of mistakes, and he capitalized on a lot of those. So thinking about it, pros help each other out a lot when they spar, or even semi-pros, because they would be a lot better, they would be more evenly matched, and they'd be able to tell what each other are doing wrong and able to punish those mistakes by each other. And then he had another friend that he used to play with before he took a big break, as I said, that they used to go even, like back and forth. And when he took that big break, he ended up coming back, and they still went back and forth. And his friend now is currently 2,700. He didn't name the friends, so I have no name to give you. But they are 2,700, and they do help him out as well. And those are the only two people that he gets coached by. Everything else, he said he learns on his own completely, which is very interesting. I don't know. I feel like this is most players, of course, unless you've been coached by a lot of big pros. And there are a lot of big-name pros that have been coached by other pros. I know quite a few pros that have been coached by Stingray, or a few semi-pros that I've done videos with that have been coached by like Flower or Marky Moo, because Marky Moo does offer coaching, but this is not Marky Moo's video. I'm not promoting Marky Moo. So he's been running this org for 2 years now, and he's been in the Brawl community 4 years, since like a lot of the older pros are playing, like Sandstorm, Boomy, Cody Travis, or like some of the other just big name pros that just quit the game. And he's been running this org, and he was telling me about how when he first started, he was hoping to get some of these big name players. He was hoping to get noticed, just like everybody else is when they're starting out something. They want to be noticed, and they want the appreciation. They would love to have these good players and to show them what they can do. And eventually he started getting some big names. I could not tell you the names because I really don't remember that part. That part I probably should have wrote down. But he did get some big names that were very good at the game. Oh, Pierce and, okay, yeah, I already don't remember the next name. But that was one of the names. And that is a very good player that does not really play the game anymore, to my knowledge. So, yeah, he really made his dreams come true with that one. And so, since he's been in the Brawl community for a very long time, he's met a lot of these big name pros. He's talked to a lot of them. Obviously, he's their boss. He obviously has a lot of information about the game. So I asked him, what are Brawl's biggest issues? The first issue he brought up was server lag. To go into this, there's quite a few things that he said about this. For one, the servers are just shit. In tournaments, a lot of his Legion players have been lag switched, for example, or just simple things that just like ruin your game, like whether your opponent is literally switching, like making your PC lag for no reason, or literally just lagging you off the edge and killing you. And little stuff like that can really ruin somebody's whole entire career. Or just make somebody not want to play the game. It's not motivating at all. And, you know, Brawlhalla has been around for years. These are simple things that they can fix, but they have absolutely zero server protection. So when you're playing Brawlhalla, anybody can lag switch you or do some crazy things to your internet while you're playing the game just to win the game. And it's kind of sad to lag switch somebody, because if you really had the guts to fight somebody and you know, okay, there's a chance to win, you're going to fight it. There's no point in lag switching them. But when you're just lag switching them off the edge because you know you're going to lose, that is just sad. That's all I have to say about that. And that's the first thing that he said that is very wrong with Brawlhalla. The other thing that he mentioned that is literally just cheating, straight up cheating, that Brawlhalla doesn't really try to fix. I don't think these are allowed in tournaments, but in game in general, anybody can reach Valhalla or literally any rank with some of these devices. For example, a deck spot. And if you don't know what a deck spot is, it's something that you can input into your thing. I'm not exactly how, I don't know exactly how it works. Obviously, I don't have one because I'm pretty dog shit. If I had one, I think I'd be, winning the game right now, but I am not. But it basically makes all of your inputs true, your dodges true, like any direction you dodge in, it will be fine, like you will not get hit. any input you do will be true. Like if you mess up a Delight Sair on Spear or something like that, it'll automatically be true anyways. Or just simple things like that. And that is insane. Like when you're playing the game and the entire point of the game is obviously to play the game, get good at it, learn combos, learn how to dodge properly, and all of these things make it very clear that your skill matters, and you have a device like that literally just takes all of the skill and work that you put into the game just away and automatically does it for you. That type of stuff really should just make you banned immediately. I'm not sure if that's already a feature, but deck spots in general are just stupid. Like, I could see why somebody would get them, and it's usually involving the fact that they're ass at the game and need it. And just put in the work at that point. Like, I don't understand that at all. I can and I can't. Like, obviously, some people just assume that they're never going to get good enough, and they want to use a deck spot just to be a dickhead. But at that point, bro, just stop playing the game or either put in the work. It genuinely infuriates me. Because even if I'm trying to get good, I would never go and just buy a deck spot just because I'm sick of putting in the work or whatever. There's no point in it. Literally no point. If you wanted to play like that, just go cheat in a different game. Like, it's a game that everybody's putting skill into, and when you're ruining the game, you're ruining the entire game, making players not want to play it. And the more players that you make not want to play it, the game is just going to die, and there's no reason to kill off a perfectly fine game. Number 3, pointless updates, kind of like the dex changes in general. They completely ruin the decks on certain characters. Like, it makes absolutely no sense why, if you're playing a Mugi and you have 9 defense, but 3 decks, you'll lose your weapon in 3 hits. But when you play Ember, you'll have your weapon until you die, which makes no sense because she has 3 defense. Out of all things, she should be losing her weapon faster. I don't know how that I don't know how that correlates or makes sense at all to them. It was a pointless change. Nobody asked for it. Of course, there's some players that like it. And I feel like a lot of it's just a skill issue. Like, the game was, the dex change was literally pointless. Number 4, they never listen to their community. And if they do, they listen to half of the community. And they don't listen to the half that matters. They listen to the pointless updates, kind of like the dex change, that literally only impact the game worse or ruin the game in general. There's no point for some of the updates they make. And when people point out valid updates that they need to fix or do in general, they ignore it. Like, they only listen to the one half of the game that doesn't really care that much about it. But with the players that actually do care, they don't listen to them. And that's what makes a game die fairly quickly for any game. I mean, look at Fortnite. A lot of people quit Fortnite because they just stopped listening to their players. They just kind of appeal to only the newest players, and the game is just dying and dying and dying. Pretty sure the other day I saw a post about how they only had like less than 1 million or 1 million players, which is the lowest they've ever had in all of Fortnite history, which is kind of crazy because Fortnite used to be the biggest game. And, you know, I love playing Brawlhalla, even though it makes me very mad, but I don't want to see the game die. And I feel like, you know, as a community, we should be trying to advocate for these stupid things to get fixed. And for my last question that I asked him was, obviously, who's his favorite pro? He obviously runs an org, and he obviously has a lot of pros, so I was wondering what his favorite pro was. He told me Kaina, Godly, and Balloon Boy, which are some solid picks. They all still play the game, besides maybe Godly. I'm not sure if Godly still plays the game. I don't really pay attention to his content too much. But he just said that he could watch Godly for hours. Like, he could deadass watch it all day because of how he plays, how interesting it is, how good his scythe is. And obviously, if you play a weapon and you watch somebody play your weapon, you want to watch it more. He told me that he named his cat after Balloon Boy because of a tournament that he watched. And he was so hyped about it, he named his cat Balloon Boy for like a month or something like that, which is genuinely hilarious to me. I'm not judging him, but that is just really funny. He also said that he grew up watching Kaina, and I've watched some of Kaina's clips. He plays so great. He told me that he was still a little mad at Kaina, though, because he made a bet, like a while ago, betting on them that he would win, and they got 3-0'd by Hughes, and then 3-0'd again in Grand Final, which is, I'm sure you can find that tournament somewhere. I just find that kind of funny and honestly kind of devastating, because if you look up to a player and you see him lose, it definitely sucks. I'm sure that player feels awful afterwards too because of how much work they put in and then they lose. It's not a good feeling at all. I know I've worked for some tournaments and I've lost, and it definitely doesn't feel great at all. So, watching your favorite pro lose, it's the equivalent of watching your favorite football team lose. It's just devastating. Um, yeah, those are the little insider tips, or not tips, but insider things about the owner of Legion, Uxibus. Of course, I did get permission to post this, and I will link all of his socials in the description down below. Make sure to note, if you do want to join Legion, you do have to be a certain ELO, and it is above Diamond. Same with WSE or any other branch of Legion that they have. These guys are very nice guys. I am in their community very often, and their community is only here to make the community itself, the Brawl community, better, and they obviously want to expand from Brawlhalla to other games. So just know, Legion is not just a Brawlhalla thing, it is going to go global. And I'm all for it. It is a very good community, and I really hope you guys do enjoy, and if you guys do check out their content or whatever, I hope you guys enjoy as well. Peace out, my big dogs. I hope you enjoy these final moments of this game where I get absolutely mauled for the last time. Thank God.